All right, we are
Jesus.
live and we're recording now. Finally,
We are.
everything seems to be in. Yeah, it's working now. All right,
working
you're
now.
listening to Redvolution Rampage podcast, and we are live at Instill Distillery here in Clayton, North Carolina. Give a hand, everyone. Listen to that crowd. You guys are amazing. There are hundreds of people here. Hundreds.
Whip it out, big boy.
Okay, now we got to put an R rating on this, and okay.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
All right. Bring it
So
back. Bring it
we
back.
are here today at Instill Distillery with Alyssa Galiardi. So she is the second time on the show. Everyone give her a round of applause.
Yay.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here again.
Awesome. So since we've last talked to you, you've kind of moved forward in life. So tell us where you are now and what you're doing.
So I guess last time we talked was probably last summer, around June or something like that. So
It was June 11th.
Oh, there you go.
Look at you.
Awesome.
I did my research.
So in December, I started with the Carolina Hurricanes as the Girls and Women's Youth and Amateur Hockey Specialist, which is a bit of a mouthful, but been able to
It's very
What a
exciting.
title.
continue playing with the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association, and then started that role in December. So been a little busy, but really excited.
Let me tell you, I lost my mind when I found out that
No,
she got it.
You
I
don't
probably,
understand.
I
that
probably
she literally
annoyed you.
texted us for like 2 days.
Right.
It was something I've been talking with them for a couple months, so it took a little bit to come together, but really excited
Yeah.
that Odyssey did.
What was
It
it like
was
for
very
you when
cool.
you got the phone call?
Yeah, again, it was something that kind of started talking with Shane Willis and some of the people in the department to see if there would be an opportunity, and it sounded like there would be, but it did took a lot of people signing off on it and things like that. But I think the biggest thing was that they saw an opportunity for a role like this, focused on girls and women, far before many other organizations. So when it did finally come together, I was really excited and relieved, and kind of was able to kind of get started right away.
Is there any other team doing this right now?
A few. Arizona Coyotes are probably the first organization that kind of had somebody focused on something similar. And then the Washington Capitals hired Haley Skarupa. And those two organizations probably were the first two. And then some have used female ambassadors. But this is probably one of the first organizations to have something so dedicated to it.
Well, they've already used
great.
you for a couple of different things already. The first one being with Amanda over here with the daughter-parent camp.
Yeah.
That wasn't the first one. You did
Yeah, we did a
women's cabin.
women's try hockey for free. And one of the exciting parts of this role was they kind of let me come in and run with it, which is exciting, to come in with some new ideas and kind of create new programming. They really didn't want it to just, do what they've been doing. They wanted me to come in and create some new stuff, which is obviously really exciting. And so I was able to do the women's try hockey for free down in Fayetteville in January. Then, we just did the first ever parent-daughter clinic at
That was
PNC Arena
amazing.
on Monday, this past Monday. Which,
Yeah, what's the scouting report on our resident hockey players here?
Yeah, looking
For
pretty
people
good.
that don't know,
Looking
that's
pretty good.
Amanda and her daughter Rayla.
Yeah, Rayla's giving her tips. It was pretty funny doing the
Yeah,
power
it was.
skating. Rayla looked back and go, "Mom, bend your knees." But
was
so she
really
was giving
great.
tips. But no, very, very good.
I mean, that was memories forever, and I can't wait to do it again. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was really cool to have. I think we had over 31 pairs out there, so it was a lot of people on the ice. But it was all about just creating memories and making sure it was fun.
Yeah, I had no idea that the news was going to be there. I'm really
I
glad
didn't
I
either
didn't.
until right before.
Should we,
I
should
really
we thank
did-
Bridget for that?
Yeah,
Right.
probably.
I'm really glad I didn't call in sick that day. And
Yeah.
I actually,
There was video footage. You looked a little under the weather.
So
I actually
when,
took the day off prior.
So when Amanda was out there, they didn't give her like one of those skating.
Oh, she was ripping around.
I was skating.
Yeah,
The
it was
time of
cool
the
though to see the
breakout
different
paid off.
levels. Yeah.
Kind of like to hold on so she didn't fall or anything.
Shush. I was skating. I did not fall one time.
Good.
Yeah, no,
Better
she
than I
looked
would have done.
So what's in the future? What are the Carolina Hurricanes planning to move forward with, especially with all these successes in these programs? What's next?
Yeah, there's a few things in the works. The next one being the women's adult hockey clinics. So this will be something where a little bit more, women that already play hockey but want to kind of develop skills that'll mimic the adult hockey clinics that they've done at PNC. So we'll have 2 sessions for that in March. we'll have a kind of a Hurricanes women's hockey night, and it'll be focused on kind of just highlighting women's hockey or women in hockey, not necessarily women's hockey. That'll be March 21st. And then after that, we'll be doing a week-long girls' summer camp for the first time ever, and be creating some girls-only programming for the fall. So it's a lot in the works, which is really exciting.
That's very cool.
And with that hockey camp, you're also coaching with another one of the friends of this podcast, Colleen Murphy.
Yeah. Colleen and Catherine Murphy, they are able to help out a lot, which is exciting because they've obviously had really great careers. Colleen's still playing, and then WHL, and obviously they both play Division I hockey. So I think the more female role models we can have on and off the ice for young girls, I think the better. And we're really fortunate around this area to have a few good ones.
And what would you say to all the girls who want to come out and try this hockey and go to these camps? What would you say to them now? If they're listening to you right now, what would you say?
I think the biggest thing is just make sure, try it out. It's fun. You make a lot of great friends. And I think the biggest thing is to really just give the sport a shot. It's something that's, you got to put on a lot of equipment, unlike, maybe playing soccer or something like that, where you just kind of show up. And so it's something different, but I think the confidence girls get from playing a sport like hockey and the friends you make are life. From people that I've played with since I was 11 years old, Blake Bolden being one of them. We met at a tournament when we were 11, and we're still good friends. So it's pretty cool.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what's some of the best advice that you ever received when you were younger that you can pass on to anybody, not just girls, but anybody that to help them get into the sport, or if they're questioning whether or not they should do it?
Yeah, the obvious one is have fun. If you're not having fun with it, no matter what advice you give, it's going to be pretty useless. But I think just always look for a way to get better. I think as you are having fun with the sport and you love it and you want to keep moving up and to different levels, I think just always looking for every opportunity when you're on the ice to get better, and that's probably, with anything in life. So that'd probably be my advice.
Now, you're also a board member on the, let me see if I get this right, PWHPA.
There you go.
Yes,
Yes.
PWHPA. Woo!
Too many letters, but yes.
Yeah, the last time we talked to you, that was somewhat brand new. I think it was maybe, 1-2 weeks old when we met you up in Wake Forest, and
Yep.
a lot has happened, including something very soon.
Yeah, so that was really early on when we first talked. I think we were still kind of figuring out the direction that everything was going to go. But the PWHPA, we've been able to host the Dream Gap Tour, which has been a tour going to different cities across North America to play games and showcase the highest female talent in the world, which has been really successful. You've seen the women at the NHL All-Star Game and the 3-on-3. And then, we'll be going to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania next week for the next stop of the Dream Gap Tour. And we're partnering with the Flyers organization and the Snyder Hockey organization with it for it. So it should be a really fun event with a lot of great talent.
Yeah, a lot of great talent indeed.
A lot.
Look at these teammates. Amanda, who are her teammates?
Yeah, I mean, we've got Team Decker. We've got Kelsey Colzer, also a friend of the pod. Kendall Coyne-Schofield, Hillary Knight. Blake Bolden is on a different team, but that's okay.
We still got to shout her out. She was here last time, too.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
For
if
those
you
who
know
are-
anything about women's hockey, these names are huge. I mean, and there's way more names than
Kendall
that.
Cole
of
Schofield
course.
was the one who competed, first one to compete
Right.
within the NHL All-Star Skills event about, it was last year, not this year and last year. And then a couple of these names were out there this year.
Yeah, the
I'm
3-on-3.
pretty dang sure she would still beat Matthew Barzell.
Yeah, I think I
She
know. I
was
kind of
fast.
wish they gave her another go at it just to see, because last year it was so
Yeah.
sprung on her last second, and obviously it was fortunate they let her jump in there. But it was pretty cool to see that she even beat one of the guys last year.
So how would you feel about, instead of an NHL All-Star game, because I've got qualms with the All-Star process as it is now. I mean, Aho and Svechnikov not going, that's a
Yeah.
whole different conversation. But what if we changed it into a hockey showcase where it's men against women, everyone's competing, and it's not about the best of the best, but instead a representation from all walks of hockey to compete in these skills competitions to show that the sport is indeed for everyone, and that everyone has someone to cheer for. and then everyone it could be a fan of the teams or a fan of the players. How would you feel about it going into a showcase rather than a quote-unquote all-star game?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I know they're always looking for ways to revamp the All-Star game because, guys are going there and it's fun for them, but you also see guys that are kind of like, oh, I'd rather take some time off rather than, play another game that is pretty casual kind of game. So maybe it would be cool if they kind of look to revamp it. I know the ECHL invited some of the women that joined their All-Star game, and they kind of did a 3-on-3 format, which was pretty cool. So I'm sure they're always looking for ways to revamp it and kind of make it exciting for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Now with the PWHPA, a lot of players are making the jump from NWHL to your organization as well, and it's also opening up a lot of opportunities in the NWHL for lower level colleges and newer faces to join both sides. What is your take, especially now that it seems to be a bit of a flip flop of more people are heading towards you, but it's still letting that opportunity come in?
Yeah, I think that's a great point that really this year has offered more opportunities for women to play. And ultimately, I think everybody involved in the sport, from the players to the coaches to the amazing volunteers that dedicate a lot of time to it, really want what's best for the game. And we're hoping that, the future, no matter what path it takes, leads it to be that, it can really be a living. Women's professional hockey can be a living, not $1 million contracts by any means right now. But I think really just to be able to make that your full-time commitment, full-time job is really kind of the next step. And we look at, something like the WNBA as a perfect model for that.
Yeah,
So living wage being the most important part.
Exactly. Living in a city like Boston or somewhere like that, and you can't live off $8,000.
No,
so
I really don't feel like it should be treated as a hobby.
Yeah.
It should be treated as a job.
And I've told people this before, like I worked a full-time job while I was playing and everything like that still, just because, well, one, you had to. But two, you go to practice sometimes and girls had full-time job commitments, so they couldn't make practice, which you can't fault them for. Right. But it also takes away from being able to continue to develop and have that team chemistry. So hopefully in the future there's really something where you're making a livable wage and can live in a city and play and train every
there
day.
was people like Colleen, where she would be flying.
She travels up,
every weekend. Mm-hmm. She can't really practice during the week, I would imagine, but she'd be traveling every weekend from here up to Buffalo when she was playing in Buffalo.
Yeah,
and now she's in New Jersey.
Yeah, and to think if we could be on the ice every day, just like the NHL guys and things like I haven't been on the ice every day since I was in college. And college is like the pinnacle of women's hockey right now. For a lot of great reasons. You have the same resources as the men, and you leave college, and it's great that there are options, but they're still not quite there yet to really level up the game and make it a really, really great product.
Well, there is a bright spot, because the U.S.-Canada rivalry series did do a game in Anaheim. 13,000 you put it on your social media. 13,000 people showed up. It was a great atmosphere. I believe the U.S. won in overtime.
Yeah, it was a really good game.
But seeing something like that, does it at least give you that glimmer of hope, like this could happen soon?
Yeah, I think so. And you see that. And then I think the next weekend, the University of Wisconsin had 14,000 at their women's college hockey game. So I think things like that, I tweet about, but I think, can kind of look like, hey, people will pay to go watch these, the high female talent.
Yeah.
So before the game gets back on, because they're going through highlights, so there's going to be soon.
I'm going to open into this later.
Yeah, I'm going to open questions to the floor. Does anyone in the fan base here have questions for Alyssa Galiardi?
I know I'm not part of the fan base, but we were talking earlier about where I grew up and where you played at Cortland. You and I both know that women's hockey up there is amazing. You have that area, plus you got the ECAC and everything. Do you think that women's hockey, like it is in the Northeast, can be able to spread just as much throughout U.S. all over, other than the northern states alone, but like kind of spread towards the South or the Midwest, to kind of like popularize it and make it where we're talking about getting paid a little bit more
Yeah.
to go professional.
Yeah, it was even cool at, Cornell. It was a, smaller city. But we'd get 2,000-3,000 people at our games just because, that was kind of the thing in town. So I think even outside of the big cities, I think there's a lot of opportunity as well and some smaller markets. But yeah, I think Midwest, you see Minnesota, State of Hockey, and they have a team out there and they get great support. So I definitely think somewhere like that or Chicago or somewhere along those lines would be awesome markets to expand outside the Northeast.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a question?
Adam?
Definitely. Being a big sports guru myself and watching this stuff. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Am I on or what?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Just speak loudly. Go ahead.
Following a lot of sports, and if you kind of realize like women's hockey is, I don't know if you know about indoor lacrosse or major lacrosse, it's the same setup of like the big markets and not getting paid as well, and people work, kind of, full-time jobs and they just part-time. And I kind of see it that way. I don't know if you agree with that as well, because they're still trying to fight to get bigger contracts, union, as well.
Yeah,
and
I think
women's hockey is the same way.
Yeah. I would say it's definitely kind of along those same lines right now. And, you see what they've done with the Premier Lacrosse League, where they've kind of gone away from being in the city and going on a tour. And so it's kind of what we've done this year. And I think it's actually been really cool to see what they've done and kind of flip pro sports upside down a little bit. So it's something that I think they were able to pay their athletes more this season and kind of have a little bit of a different model. So it's definitely something to look for. But, yeah, I would say that's kind of a similar comparison for sure.
Good question.
Yeah.
I got one. Do you have any involvement with NC State's women's hockey team so far?
Oh, I've talked to Emily Peterson, who is the one I think trying to head it up. I had coached her a little bit when she was with the Junior Hurricanes. So I had talked to her a little bit early on. But, no, I think it's awesome what they're doing. I know Tim Healy, who's one of the coaches for the men's NC State team, pretty well. So I know they're trying to get a lot of things together, and it'll be awesome to see it come together because I know they get huge crowds at their men's games, and I can only imagine they would get similar support on the women's side.
Do you see them getting a D1 program for not only men but women as well when the Wake County Competition Center opens up?
Yeah, I don't know the whole process of going kind of D1 or D3 and things like that, but I think it'd be awesome. And the new facility is going to be a really top-notch location for these teams and to have fans go to games. So it'll be really great for the area.
All right. Anybody else got a question? Yeah. We got. Here we go. We got Jared.
Jared, come on
Hey,
up.
Jared.
Hi, Jared Ellis, co-host of the Locked On Hurricanes podcast.
Oh yeah, cheap
Plug
plug.
that in. Gotta plug it in.
Shameless plug. But are there any things in particular that you would like to do for women's hockey in the Triangle area? Just like any ideas in particular you'd like to see come to fruition? Yeah,
no, that's a great question. I think the biggest thing to set up would be kind of a girls continue to play or girls house league with girls only teams. So I think that would be a great opportunity because I think right now we do see girls get to play co-ed and then they maybe drop out because it's not as fun or they're the only girl on the team. So I think if we can create a setup where they're in an all-girls environment and they get to play with friends and kind of develop that way. And if they want to go to co-ed, that's fine. But there's always going to be that girls-only option. I think that'd be the best next step. And then I think, offering more opportunities for women too to try the sport and get involved, I think would be huge.
So something along the lines of what our friends, the Trailblazers, are doing.
Yeah, they're obviously have a lot of great support and have done a lot of cool things. And then the Carolina Lady Hurricanes, I know, are really involved, and they draw a lot of good female players. So I think being able to combine all the stuff they're doing and then just continue to offer, I think doing the clinic in Fayetteville was really cool for some women that had never been on skates before, and then they came up and just said how much fun they had and how it was cool to be in an environment with other women like that. So hopefully that's the case, and the Carolina Hurricanes just scored, so you should probably announce it.
There we go.
Yes, this is a live podcast.
Yeah.
And Warren Fogel's got his second of the game in his hometown of Toronto. Alyssa, thank you so much.
Thank you. I think you should announce the goal.
There you go. Announce the
come
goal.
on. Do I have to
You were
do
doing the
that?
last
Hurricanes,
Go!
go! Scored by number 13, Warren Fogle. Their second of the game.
That's great.
Hashtag
I-
Fogle.
And the Hurricanes are up 5-3.
You have to have Wade on here.
All right, thank you
Yeah.
guys.
So, yeah,
yeah,
wait.
well, we have Wade on here, so we'll get him later.
Before we end with Alyssa, I do want to say, as you know, a hockey mom myself, I adore your mother. Like, every time there is a clinic or some sort of event, your mother is there.
Yeah.
And it's like she's like my hockey mom mentor. And it's like, you know, you're a grown person now, and she's still there.
Yeah,
and
no,
I love that.
I've been very fortunate in how supportive my parents have been throughout, you know, since day one of playing hockey to even now. And I'm coaching, you know, they still want to be there. And they love seeing the little girls that are starting to play, you know, and getting to watch, you know, players like Rayla develop over the last few years and kind of see those girls progress. And so they love it. And they're very fortunate that they're so supportive of everything.
They're at everything. I mean, even in Nashville when we went to
Yeah,
Nashville.
oh, yeah, you've seen them a lot. Yeah,
She's like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
She's
It was so
everywhere.
cool.
Yeah, no,
she's
they love
great.
coming back to the rinks, and I think, you know, I lived away from home for so long that I think they love that I'm closer and doing a lot of events nearby.
Yeah.
Well,
great.
we got to thank you so much for coming on again. We'll have you again for a third time.
Yeah, would love to
Yes,
come on, but no,
please.
thanks for having me. This is awesome.
All right, back to the game.
All right, we're getting
Go
rowdy.
Canes.
What a game!
Amazing game.
How do we do a podcast after that game?
I don't know. I
There's
have no
nothing to
idea.
say.
Well, there's a lot to say. It's just that I don't think we're going to have it under an hour.
No.
We got to figure something out because this game was out of control. How do you bring in an emergency goalie
halfway through the game.
halfway through the game? And
Well, let's give credit where credit's deserved. All hail Dave Ayers.
retire that number right now.
Retire
Number 90
90.
is going up in the Raptors at
Amazing,
PNC.
amazing.
There's no other way to say this.
There better be merch.
Come on. Jerseys. I mean, this guy right now is a legend in about 30 minutes of game time.
He won't be sleeping.
He's not going to sleep tonight. He's never going to buy a beer again for the rest of his life. Everyone's just, I mean,
We should send him some rum.
how is this guy going to live around Toronto? I mean, at this point,
Well, he used to
he's
work
a
for
celebrity.
the Checkers. Didn't he used to work for the Checkers?
No, he works for the Marlies. He's the maintenance guy at the Marlies Arena.
Wow. I don't think they're ever going to let him back.
This dude was
We're
tightening
saying he's
wrenches
Zamboni
1 hour,
Brothers, right.
and then like 2 hours later, he's in the
Look
game
at him go.
playing hockey
My.
at the highest level and winning.
We need to
Winning.
invite him to every alumni game between now and forever.
I agree with that. I mean, he's Hurricanes. legend.
So I just want to say something. I'm a goalie.
Are
Yeah,
you?
we
I would
got
have been
that.
pooping a brick. Just saying.
I mean, how do you walk
Would
around
you
and be
do
like,
it, though?
yo, I stopped Mitch Marner, William Nylander, and a
John
whole
Tavares.
bunch of other guys from scoring. And then you got to realize this game, the Carolina Hurricanes, they turned the Jets
Look at
on.
him.
They turned the Jets on.
And if things go our way, we're in the
Look at him
playoffs.
go. That is
But
amazing.
So far, I think we do end the night in a playoff spot, one way or the
Well,
other.
if-
The Islanders sit
If
this
I believe
one
it's
out.
Columbus. I believe that's what we're looking
No,
at.
we don't need to. I think the Islanders get to sit one out.
Oh, yeah, because they play tomorrow.
Yeah. So
But now, with the goalie situation, Ned?
I would say
Bring in
Ned
Ned.
absolutely
Ned
is coming up.
now.
Ned has to come up. I mean, Ned and maybe even. I mean,
Ned.
I got someone in the crowd
Bring up-
saying the sign Dave. I don't think that's happening. But Ned's coming up,
Ned
and
now.
who's the other guy?
Forsberg.
Forsberg's probably coming out, but I'd want to see Booth.
Well,
Yeah?
it all depends on the health of Reimer. Like Mrazek, I feel like his injury is pretty severe. We'll see what happens. But it all depends on how Reimer is. I think they took him out as a precaution.
Well, the
but we'll
Hurricanes
see.
don't play until Tuesday, I think.
They don't play until Tuesday at
against
home
the Stars.
versus Dallas, and it's a special day for Amanda on that one.
Why?
Isn't that Jewish hockey?
No. That's March 2nd.
Wow.
That's on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, my
Oh,
home.
Crazy.
that's on St. Patrick's Day?
Crazy that Jewish Heritage Night is on St. Patrick's Day, but I'm going to run with it.
Okay. Well, I was wrong.
Being a redheaded Jew, I'm going to run with that one.
So before making any kind of acquisitions or claims on both goalies, I think we need to give it a couple days, give the boys a rest.
Come home.
I've been hit in the head quite a few times. I've been hit pretty hard in net.
Ned's on a two-way. You might as well call him up, let him practice with the team, and that way he's ready if they need him. And if he's not, and if they don't need him, send him right back down. He's on a two-way. You can do that.
It's
well,
better to
for now. For now, he's on a two-way.
It's better to have
next
him.
year is a different story. But yeah, this season
Ned,
he's on a two-way, so why
no.
not?
It's better to have them and not need them than to not have them but need them.
Just how much has our goalie situation changed? Like the other day, everybody was saying that we were inconsistent. Now we're like, we have a new team.
I mean, listen to this. The game that we just watched, David Ayers got first star.
Woo!
First
You
star.
can't like he's a legend.
That's amazing.
I'm sorry, we just watched history.
We
30
really did.
years after history was made in
40.
USA. 40 years after history was made, we just watched history again.
Yeah, Jeff over here rocking the USA jersey.
Miracle on Ice, and now Miracle in Toronto.
And you were born not far from there.
No, I was only born about an hour and a half north from Lake Placid. Family
So you've
worked
been
it-
there?
You could say a few times. Played on the rinks, visited. I got really good friends that still live out that way.
Yeah, that actually sounds so amazing just to spend any time on that ice.
I've even swam in Lake Placid, and it is actually really cold.
It's New York. What do you
What,
expect?
you saying that upstate New York is cold or something?
It's just a bit breezy and a bit brisk. Kind of like an iced tea.
Oh my! All right. Let's move on. Looking at the schedule from the recent since the last podcast, Hurricanes are now 4-2-1.
4-2-1 is not bad. It could be better.
Well,
but this league, this division is out of control. If
Can we just
Columbus
get
wins
rid
tonight?
of the divisions?
If Columbus wins tonight, you're looking at between number 1 to number 6, a 6-point difference. 6 points, and the trade deadline is in 2 days.
See, it's so insane that Omar can't find the words.
It's mind-boggling.
After that game, I don't think any of us can find too many words.
Words are hard. Oh my gosh. Our buddy Remy here in the live audience is just showing us pictures of David Ayers jerseys and people doing
It's a number
weird
90
things.
jersey that just says Lord and Savior. I mean, I'm done. You know, I think
All for Ayers. Oh my
you know
god.
what? Okay, tell you what. We're making a T-shirt, Redvolution Rampage. We already have the Doug Hug that's right up there, and make sure if you guys should go out and buy the Doug Hug. It's a great shirt. It's an amazing
shirt.
design made by Amanda
It's
right
me.
here. So it's at RaleighHockeyCo.com. If you need help finding that link, you go to RedvolutionRampage.com.
Buy
That's
the merch.
right. We have our own website now. What? But yeah, RedvolutionRampage.com. You'll find the link on the right under our partners and sponsors, and then you can go from there to
Many things.
to the Redvolution Rampage page, and then find the product.
Dramatic pause. But the other day, you, me, Omar, I think all of us were at the Edmonton game, and I can honestly say we may have flipped a lid at how mad we were that we didn't win that game.
Oh, I didn't flip any lids.
Oh, they're interviewing him now.
So
Yeah, we're watching the live feed on Fox Sports, and they're interviewing
How
him.
amazing would it be to be that guy right now?
now that guy's a legend. That guy is forever going to go down in history.
And just on that note, he's in his 40s, so that still gives me a chance.
And
Yeah,
you
it
got
does.
a chance.
And Canes, if you give me a chance, I will skate out there in my kill. I'm not lying. I will throw my
Hashtag hire
kill.
Jeff.
Okay,
See,
no one
goalie and a
wants
kill.
another injury. Okay, at that point, they're really
Tilted goalie.
The kilted
That would-
goalie.
That would be his
Get outta
nameplate.
Man, that guy is on cloud 9.
Dude, can we just name this podcast like the David Ayers podcast now?
It's going to be the miracle, the stormy miracle.
This is just
Or we could always do Surgeon into a Miracle.
yeah. That's
Surgeon
good.
to
Man, he's not going to stop
you guys are going to
smiling.
already know the episode by the time you're hearing this, so
Yeah.
Well, we got so much. like just ahead of us.
Half the stuff we were going to talk about just got thrown out the window
I
because
know,
of this
right?
game.
And
I don't even.
This game
I can't
was
handle
just
this.
insane.
The biggest one we have to talk about is obviously the trade deadline on Monday.
Yes.
Monday, February 24th is the trade deadline. Omar, will the Canes do anything?
So with the trade deadline, I'm gonna be honest. I can see the Carolina Hurricanes doing diddly squat, and the reason for that is they're on and off. The problem is going to be defense. It's not offense. Jordan Martinook's getting healthier by the minute, and believe it or not, Dougie Hamilton may return before the season is over.
That's what I heard.
Oh my God! Did you hear that
Oh
on
my
the
God, I'm so
recording?
excited.
Just Amanda getting.
Did you hear
No,
my
but
audible gasp? I'm so sorry.
But quite honestly, Dougie Hamilton may actually be back late March to early April. That means he might be back by time for the playoffs. So why make a move when you have the pieces you need getting healthier? The question is, can they survive the most important month in hockey, March?
As long as we have Dave Ayers, I think we're fine.
Honestly,
I think he's staying in Toronto to get free beers for life.
so again, I'm going to be a pessimist on this one.
No.
Well, we got to have somebody to do it.
Yes,
No.
I'd love to see Dougie come back,
Dougie.
but I'd rather see him come back 100% healthy or 90% healthy. And if that means coming back when we make the playoffs, I'd rather have him come back during the playoffs. I wouldn't want to see him come back during regular season and re-aggravate something. Have him come back and have himself ready for the playoffs. I'd rather have him 100% ready for the playoffs than come back and play a regular season
So here's
game.
what I'm going to say about injuries in sports.
Omar just made like the most ridiculous face when reading this.
All right, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna put this out there before I answer that. Dave Ayers
Make sure you
has as many wins as Henrik Lundqvist in the year 2020. Oh my God! And I can't even anymore. I can't even anymore. Okay, look. Okay, this episode is very completely out of control, and I love it.
It's okay. It's okay.
We have a picture of the
When it comes to
Omar that we'll
injuries,
put up.
Yeah.
when it comes to injuries, the teams always go overboard with and generous with how much time they actually need, and that does two things.
Unless you're Montreal.
It puts less pressure on the players to return. That's one, and two, it kind of keeps the fans from clamoring for players. Like, we expected him to come back in 3 weeks. It's been 4. So in case they do need the extra time, they have it. So Dougie Hamilton being out for the rest of the season doesn't definitely mean he's going to be out for the rest of the season.
I
You
think-
got Connor McDavid, who was supposed to be out for the rest of the season. He
I
made
think
it
at
back.
I want him in
max
the playoffs.
we
As
see
long
him.
as he's there for the playoffs.
I think he'll be back.
I
for
think
the
we'll
playoffs.
see him the last
Absolutely.
week of April.
But to piggyback on the whole Montreal comment, if someone gets injured in Montreal, they're like, you know what, we're just going to trade for somebody. They bring in somebody else, and then it just kind of like goes all haywire, kind of like it has over the last
Montreal
few years.
The Habs
Dougie's not
are a
going
Rapids
anywhere.
fan base. What do you expect? They expect to win because that's what they're used to, and they're just not getting it anymore. And you know what? They got a right to be upset. Sort of. I don't know.
They must all be drunk on Instill Distillery rum. Hashtag
Ooh.
Instill Nation.
Look at that little insert there. That was
I
pretty
don't think
good.
they're up in Montreal.
We
I
can
don't
send
think
them
so.
some.
But hey, you know
Yeah.
what? I bet you Eric would send it up
There's
there.
a reason
We
why.
need to send some to Dave Ayers. We need to send him something.
There's a reason
Hey,
why.
Eric.
He cannot hear us.
All right.
Eric's over at the bar. He's,
Yeah, bet.
he's
Eric,
the
can
owner
we send
of
a bottle
Instill Nation.
of your rum to that backup goaltender?
He says absolutely.
We'll send them a nice card too.
Get him over here.
Yeah, get
Eric, why aren't you coming over here, Eric?
get over here.
Come on over and
Eric.
plug your stuff.
So me living or growing up on the U.S.-Canadian border, I can promise you this: the rest of Canada doesn't like Montreal. They just want to, so I can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Incoming.
Incoming. Everybody
who are
say
you?
hi to Eric Tanzi.
Right, let's talk some sports.
Hey, so here's what we're gonna do.
All right.
We're gonna find this guy's address and we're
Yeah.
gonna send him a bottle of your rum.
Absolutely, 100% that dude's
Is
gonna
that,
drink
is
this
that
rum.
fine? Because he lives in Canada.
We'll send him a whole package so he can make a rampage with his rum. We'll send
Yeah.
him
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Hey,
Wait,
let's plug that one in.
wait. Explain to our audience what a rampage is.
Give it to
It's
him.
like a heart attack, really.
Yes, really, yeah.
It's not safe. I don't know if we can say it on air.
So basically, it's like the Canes in the playoffs.
it's
Yes.
it's like
Yes.
well, yeah, it's like a
Or in
hurricane.
any game, really.
It's essentially
Right.
Monster Energy drink,
Yes.
spiced rum,
Uh-huh.
grenadine, cherry on top with a little garnish of orange. Yeah.
Well, they call it the cardiac cane for a reason,
It's a
right?
good
Yeah.
drink. It's a good drink.
Yeah.
If you're into that kind of thing.
It was pretty
It's
good.
like
I have
cocaine,
one.
but liquid form.
That's good.
And legal.
It's legal. Maybe.
Except the rum.
For right now, it's legal. They'll probably take
legal.
it away. Anytime something's really fun, they take it away. Like, what was it, Spice or something like that? Or was it was like, was it called? It was called Spice, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the kids were loving it, and the government was like, "Nah, you guys are loving that too much."
Yeah.
Oh, was it
Well,
like
it
the
was the one
vaping
that-
pens?
that
They're like,
turned you
oh,
into a zombie,
you
you know,
kids, you
right?
love those? You like
Like-
vaping? You like that a lot? Nope, not
Remember
anymore.
those
Well, it is
illegal
killing
balls that they would
people,
put
I mean.
candy
So
in?
don't like this drink too much.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
So
they were called
since-
Wonder
I
Balls.
got a great
so
markup on it.
we're gonna send him a case
Sure.
to
Yeah.
Dave Ayers because he just stole us a game in Toronto against the Leafs, who are supposed to be like the royalty of hockey, and this is the team he's supposed to be cheering for. And this guy is out here just stealing hearts.
I'm guessing right now he feels left out because we're watching some kind of live thing, and all these Hurricane players are like flexing. And I bet he didn't get in on that
So
because he was still playing Bonko with Bonko Group on Saturday night.
Wow.
I mean, he's
I feel like he
signing
maybe had a
records in the
pager,
arena.
and his pager went off.
He was
He's
at
like,
home.
Mom, where's my kit? I gotta go to the game.
He was in the stands,
It's happening, Mom.
sipping on a Labatt Blue, eating his poutine, going, "Oh, I gotta go."
Mom, I told you to leave it in the minivan, son.
Oh my goodness.
But I got something for Aries.
Is that guy crying?
Look at
I don't know.
I
That's
would
him?
be-
Is that him?
Yeah, he's
I
42
would be
he's about
crying.
Or is that
42
his
years old.
father?
I need to call Sarah Siv.
Oh my gosh.
So-
He's old.
So in the honor,
42.
That's really not that old, but he looks old. If that's what hockey
my
does to
goodness.
you, jeez.
Guys, we got to send a message to Sarah Siv going like, what was this guy like in person?
She's not even there.
What? She's not there?
She wasn't even there today.
She wasn't?
No.
Where?
Oh, we'll talk to
Why?
Mike. We'll talk
We
to
need
Mike.
to talk to Mike. We need to talk to
Oh,
Mike
we gotta get Mike
Maniscalco.
in
He's one of
here.
the Fox Sports guys, and we just need to get him on this
Oh my
pod.
gosh.
so now that we have this miracle, I have a little something in the tune of "Oh Canada." So excuse my non-singing voice, but "Oh Aries, our Lord and saving Tendy, come to North Carolina. You saved us well tonight."
Okay.
Where
I'm pretty sure that's sacrilegious, but okay.
Okay. All right. Okay.
We won the game.
Still sacrilegious. That's someone's national anthem.
I think this is the most hockey I've ever watched consecutively in my 35 years of life.
And you know what? And you know what?
You watched the
Welcome.
And
best
if it
game.
wasn't for the
Welcome to
if
the
it wasn't
family.
for the Rampage,
Right,
I wouldn't have.
that's right.
Welcome to the family.
Revolution
Right,
Rampage.
you
You're
are
one
the
of
official
us.
sponsor
One of us.
That's
One
right.
of us.
This is why they're known as the cardiac canes.
Nice.
They give you a heart attack.
Right.
Just like our
Oh,
drink.
hey, that's why we made the drink. Like,
All right.
I didn't even think of that.
I've got an itchy feeling that some of the fans want to ask questions.
To you.
You.
You got a question?
You got a question.
Who's got a question?
Now, he's just
Anybody
enjoying
got a
himself.
question?
Who's got
Eric?
questions?
No. Okay.
I bet Jared does. He does his own podcast.
Yeah.
Yo ho, yo
Jared
ho,
always-
another.
Yeah, you got a question,
Jared
Jared?
always has an opportunity
You got
to
a
plug his
question?
podcast.
I got a question.
Get in there.
I don't know.
I don't know. You're the one who has our
Eric
competitor.
Tansey owns this place.
He's not a
He
competitor.
hosted
Good point.
us
We're
tonight.
friends.
No, I'm not single, but I do have 3 kids, and if we could work something out where those kids could go away, I'll do probably anything at that point.
So
I don't love them.
Oh my
Don't
goodness.
love them.
Yes, you do.
What's your yearly salary?
What's
then we
my
can
yearly
talk.
salary?
Then we can talk.
Oh,
I need a sugar daddy, so.
I'm out.
So-
I need a sugar daddy.
Wait. Hold on.
Look, I have bills
You
to
work
pay.
at Food Lion. You need to talk to him to begin with.
You're not wrong.
Is that a train?
Yeah, that's a trade.
So Eric-
because the Canes train is coming through.
That's
And,
right.
okay. Let's get back to the games real quick. Can we make the playoffs or not?
Yes.
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 If we
I
have
hear a lot of
crazy
yeses.
things like this, I'm going to say yes.
This team has not been consistent, but when they're on, good Lord, are they on? I mean, if you can win with the maintenance dude in net,
The Zamboni
I'm
driver.
sorry, but the every single our goalies aren't good enough really conversation gets thrown out the window.
Right.
Okay.
I
okay.
agree.
Screw you.
Like, how
we
good
got
were
the
we?
Zamboni driver. and
Warren
we still
Fogle, the
won.
hometown kid, got 2
yeah.
goals.
Just like the song says, the one guy that went down to the ice hockey arena.
Are you gonna
to be a
sing the song, or
No,
what?
I'm not going to sing the song. But you know what?
No more
He didn't just become the Zamboni driver. He became the goalie for Carolina Hurricanes tonight.
I mean,
Man.
this guy is absolutely a legend. I've said that 18
He's a
times
star.
already, but I think we've got that in set up. I think we're the first podcast to talk about
Pretty much.
Dave Ayers.
Yeah, officially he had 8 saves,
When's
an
this episode coming
800
out?
save percentage. He got first star over Warren Fogle, who's from Toronto, and got 2 goals.
Imagine going back to your hometown. I mean, like, I'm going to score 2 goals, and then some other dude shows up out of the blue and just like, yo, by the way, I'm also going to just like steal your spotlight completely. Your parents are in the arena, but I'm going to steal that.
Oh, no.
Okay, just say it into your mic.
Jared, what'd you find?
All right, so this was from Alex, guy that writes for Cardiac Cane as well. David Ayers, whose cap hit for their game was supposedly $500, and to keep his jersey, has the best value contract in the history of sports.
Nice.
Yeah, you know what? I can't argue
Well,
with that.
what about that guy from
$500
Chicago?
and you get to keep your jersey, which is maybe another $300. So,
Yeah. Hey, man.
hey, $800 worth of stuff.
Is he
And
better than
you're
that
gonna
guy
give
from
us an
Chicago,
800
though?
save percent. So, and a win.
I mean,
Is
he
there a
got
game
way more
puck
time than
like
that
in
guy.
baseball, like where they get the game balls or like a game?
Yeah,
puck?
there is actually game pucks, and so these guys are probably will
Pretty sure
get.
the guy's got to get the game
I mean,
puck.
this guy's
Oh, yeah.
not going to just
Oh,
get the
yeah.
game
He can
puck.
get the game
I'm pretty sure he can
everything.
go. He can probably take the
He's
net home.
definitely
Right. He could probably take the net home. Right.
he's definitely getting a coolie pop.
He's probably
In
already
the
called
goal-
up.
he's definitely getting a coolie pop from mom at the
Oh
end of
my
this game.
God.
Honey, you did great.
Right.
You can pick out whatever flavor coolie pop you want. You got the game puck? Oh,
Can you imagine
2
that guy
coolie pops.
at work
You know,
on
some
He
people-
Monday?
gets free Storm Brew for life.
It reminds me.
Absolutely. I think no one's gonna argue with that. I imagine like being like going through life at 42 and be like, I haven't peaked yet.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
wait.
peaked, buddy.
Here's a thought. What if the moms, instead of going to Nashville, went to this game? How amazing would have that been?
I don't know. 2 moms would have seen their kid get taken off the ice.
Yeah.
3 moms because Pesci got hurt as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want the moms there for this game.
And if Pesci's hurt, that means Jake Bean comes up, too. Yeah, if.
Yeah, I think Pesci's a tough warrior. He's been quote unquote hurt before. I'm not gonna downplay any injuries, but I'm gonna just say that he's always been a tough warrior to come back. I know his dad listens to the podcast, so
Who's the
Mr.
guy that's on
Pesci,
TV right now?
Oh, that's
I
Brindy.
hope that
He
your
looks
son's
like a
great.
villain
Really?
in a Batman movie.
Oh my
What's wrong
gosh.
with his face?
You just called the head coach of the Hurricanes the Batman villain?
What's
Rod
wrong with his-
Brindamore is a Batman
Rod
because he will break
Brindamore.
the bat.
Yeah.
There's nothing symmetrical about his face. Is every bone in his face broken?
No, he just works out.
Oh my
Maybe.
gosh.
How many years was he in the NHL?
He was in the NHL
That
for
jaw is not
years.
real. Look at that thing.
The
Oh my-
nose.
But dude,
It's the nose.
while we have the head guy of Instill Distilling Company here, we actually took your stuff to a tailgate was it last week?
Yeah, last week.
Last week it went well.
It really
It went
did.
very well, and we were with the Black Girl Hockey Company. We loved having them It was us and Red Eye Rowdies. Great event. We'll do it again sometime. Your stuff went like hotcakes.
I mean, it was.
Great.
Oh, it was good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it, guys. I really
And we
appreciate it.
had Kane's staff literally come to the tailgate
Yeah.
just to get it.
Nice. Yeah. Well, hey, we enjoy sponsoring you guys, and we love your podcast. We're learning a lot about hockey. Hey, can we give away the pig painting?
Ooh, the
From
pig.
Paul Frederick?
I wonder.
So
Yes.
this guy contacted us this week because we posted a social media thing of you, and I guess people know him. He was hired by the Hurricanes, and his cartoons went across the screen. I guess at the games. I don't know. I've never
Yeah,
been to a
so
game.
his cartoons, he drew stuff for
Yeah.
previous homegrowns, and I know which homegrown you grew. So His Stormy drawings are really cute. He sells them for $10.
Well, those are prints, but he was hired by the Hurricanes to make that character.
Yeah.
Right, so
several
he
seasons.
for homegrown. Yeah, he's done homegrown posters like the ones we gave out.
We
earlier.
actually have
Oh,
it
okay,
in the
okay.
shed.
Yeah, I actually have his in the shed. And I think I actually have that one signed by Noah Hannafin from 2 years ago. So that one's pretty special to me. So right
That one's
here-
signed by him. That's signed by Paul Frederick.
Right, so Paul Frederick,
Thank
he's
you,
done
Paul.
homegrown ones before. So if you enjoy those kind of artwork, I look him up, and he has a website, right?
His Instagram.
He has the Instagram.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, so check that out. And
Are you
support.
raffling this off? Are you giving it away? Like what?
No,
how do we
we're
do it?
going to raffle that off as
okay.
well. I absolutely forgot about it, but we are going to raffle that one off.
We got a shirt and a nice looking drawing. That's actually
All right,
pretty
so
cool.
moving on to the next topic, what we got?
Oh man, what do we not have? The first thing is March. March is going to be an absolute train wreck.
4 games against the Pens. What, like 3 or 4
Two-
back-to-backs?
2 versus the Islanders. We still got 1 against Columbus.
3 against Boston.
3 against Boston, I believe.
3.
No, we already played them once.
Maybe 2, whatever.
Actually, we only have 1 game against Boston in March, and then 1 game against Boston in April, because April is Boston and Columbus back-to-back. So that's the final game against Columbus. Hey, that might be the win and get in kind of game, so that is going to be completely important. We're just reading news. Brett Pesce, according to Coach Brindamore, might be out for a long time, so we might see Jake Bean or Chase Prisky come up. There's a lot of different guys in the minor leagues who can move up. Honestly, make a trade. Make a trade. Bring in some defensive help. I know that Carolina has asked Montreal about Petrie. I'd like to see him come up and get traded, but the ask might be too much.
Yeah, the
At
price
that
tag.
point, if they're asking for a first and Jake Bean, just bring up Jake Bean.
So here's
Yeah.
my question. I know I've heard it on our good buddies podcast, and our buddy Zach also sent it to me today. Zach Bogosian goes on, if he clears waivers, should we go after him or should we just let it be? My personal opinion, I don't think we should go after him. He's broken goods.
And would his attitude fit with Rod Brindamore and the Hurricanes? This is a man who refused to show up to the AHL team. This is not someone that Rod Brindamore is going to play ball with.
I still say no.
You say no?
Yeah,
No.
I just feel like he wouldn't mesh well.
He wouldn't mesh well, and I absolutely agree with that.
Jared has spoken.
Yeah, Jared has spoken.
Yes.
But I absolutely agree with that. He's not going to mesh well with a tough team that is coached by Rod Brindamore, so why bring him in? And not only that, like, what are you going to pay him? What are you going to ask for him? So there's a lot of questions here.
Well, you talk about trading, but technically the Hurricanes did, and since we're on the topic of minor league, we lost the GOAT.
We lost the GOAT. I don't understand this trade at all. I get what you're trying to do, but do that in the offseason.
For people who don't know, the GOAT is Julian Gauthier. We traded him to the Rangers for, what was this guy's name?
Joey Keane.
But here's
so
the
we
thing.
I get the trade. The
He's a
trade
good
makes
to
sense. Joey Keane will be on his ELC. He'll be protected. He is waiver exempt. He does not have to be protected during the
Expansion draft.
But why do it now? Do that in the offseason. That's a trade for the offseason. It's not a trade for the deadline.
I hate to see
Especially
him
when
go.
you can hold Gauthier and get something better.
I know
We
I'm
get
still.
that you might have to lose Gauthier because of waivers. Got it. And Joey Keane is a guy you might want. Got it. But Joey Keane can still flatline later down the road. And Gauthier can still bring in better trades. Not only that, Gauthier turned right around and came back to PNC 2 nights later and played against us.
Yeah, but he was
What
in the
were they
box twice.
thinking?
I know
Just
I'm,
saying.
Yeah, I get that, but still, what if he wasn't? What if he was excellent? What if this was the chance for him to say, let me show you what you're missing out on?
I know I'm still new to the podcast, but the one thing that I did watch the interview that he did with the Rangers. he knew he wasn't going to be coming back up to the NHL anytime soon, and he's an NHL caliber player, and he's proving that now. And I understand it was a trade, it was to the Rangers, but at the same time, he's proving himself, and the Rangers don't even promise to keep him long term. It's one of those, we're going to do it now, let's see where we go with this, and maybe Keane will pay out for us.
I like Joey Keane. He completely anchored the defense in Hartford in his first year in, and he's still got time to develop. I like Joey Keane. I think he's going to be someone. But this is still a defense that's log-jammed with Jake Bean, Roland McCowan, Chase Prisky, and other guys that I can't name off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, but how many people are we going to have next after this season ends? How many of those defense that we have now are still either going to be here with us?
They're all still on contract. All these guys are still on contract. If they're not, they're going to be RFAs. They're going to be re-signed at the minor league level. I mean, you're talking about pennies on the dollar, man. It's going to happen. These guys are getting great development in Charlotte. These guys are going to make another run. Hell, they might win another cup. Another Calder Cup down in Charlotte. Who wouldn't want that? Get a couple of Calder Cups, lift that up, feel good about yourself, move on to the NHL.
Guys, Amanda's making a pouty face. What's going on?
What? No, I'm just listening.
What's going on? What'd you just read?
Oh, they were talking about Mrazek and Pesci and Reimer out for a while and not sure on Mrazek. What does that mean? Bring
Mrazek and Ned
now.
Yeah,
you know
Ned,
how I
I'm
love
telling you
Ned.
right now. But here's my problem with Mrazek and Ned. They're the same person.
Sort of. They're like clones.
They're the same person. Mrazek and
Except
Ned play
Ned's
the
dreams.
same style of defense. The kind of defense going, where are you going? Get back to your net.
Yeah.
I gotta meet Ned, man, because he knows.
I
he's
have his
got
goalie
to know
stick.
how much I cheer for him.
I mean, they're both very aggressive goalies, and I got that. But you can't have two aggressive goalies. You got to have your fire and your ice. It worked last year with Curtis McElhaney and Peter Mrazek.
This is true.
Ned is absolutely a fire goaltender.
All right, so here's the main question. Back when we did our last show, we were talking about if we were to go after a goalie, who would we go after? Do we go after Leonard now?
Leonard
see.
seems to be the guy who's available. Other than that, who are you going to go, Hank? Bring another old man into
The Rangers don't even want to play him.
No. Why would they? If an organization that's missing, it's going to miss the playoffs. I'm sorry, Rangers fans. You're missing the playoffs. Don't get your hopes up. You're just ruining your draft pick. But what do I know?
I mean, I can see him bringing him. I mean, because this team is not ugly, so we bring in, Mr. GQ. That would be perfect.
Well,
I
the
tell you
team's
what.
problem is not goaltending, it's defense. Right now, this team is still allowing the highest number of high-danger shots in the league.
Yes,
One
Jared?
thing I was discussing the other day when I did a crossover episode with the Locked On Ranger show, Lundqvist, he has a no-move clause, so he would have to clear anything.
They have to go to Lundqvist anyways and say, hey,
Yeah, so there's
Mr. JQ with your spicy hair and your brand of being the New York King, do you want to go down to Bill Hilly, North Carolina?
Yeah, personally, I don't see him moving. I still see him just
No.
retiring a Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be
agree.
Leonard.
His number goes up in the rafters in
Yes.
Madison Square
Yeah.
Garden. He gets applause. He gets to continue his modeling career. He moves on.
So here's the thing. When I was growing up, I grew up a Rangers fan, not going to lie. The thing about Henrik Lundqvist, over the last couple of seasons is he had a team in front of him, and he played well with them. But now he has a team that doesn't know how to play in front of him because they're all young. And they're bringing in younger and younger players, and that's why the King is looking the way that he is. You put a team in front of him as well as you put a team like the Canes in front of him.
Yeah, I get where you're going, but like he's even at that age. The problem isn't the offense and the team that's in front of him. The problem is, hey, this is a team that's allowing a lot of high danger chances, and so you need to bring in the defensive core. They're missing Dougie Hamilton not for his offense, surprisingly, but for his defense.
Hey,
True.
we just watched a 42-year-old bring us to a win
Anything's
tonight. I'm
possible.
38. Hank's 38.
Okay, yeah,
We
but
still-
you
we
gotta
still good-looking
realize the
dudes.
emotions of that game. The emotions of the game. You're talking
Hank does
about
have better hair, though.
3 players leaving that game, 2 of them goaltenders. leaving that game. The Carolina Hurricanes turned on the Jets. You're talking about let's not see this guy see any shots. That man, for half the game, saw 10 shots, and not even 10 good shots.
By the
We're
end
so
of the,
excited right now.
by the end
Omar,
of the second
Omar, did
period,
you
I
have
think-
the Rampage?
I've had 2 rampages.
No wonder he liked
Okay. Omar.
Wired.
All right. We got more things to talk about. We got a lot of
This is not a
fun
normal
things.
episode.
Okay, so we have talked really good portion about the Hurricanes. Let's go down to the minor leagues. What we got?
Let's
All
go.
right,
Let's
first
do it.
we got Charlotte. Obviously, they're going to miss Gutierrez. They're going to miss his offense, but they're doing relatively well. The last couple of games they've had struggled. Last 10, they're 5-4-1, but they're still 4th in division, 7th in the conference, looking great at another Calder Cup run.
Yeah, they're gonna make the
But
Calder
now with
Cup
Ned,
playoffs.
with the Ned situation, that might change.
Right, but you get Kalen Booth. You get Kalen Booth up
This is
from
Booth,
the Jackrabbit,
Yeah.
the
True.
Swamp Rabbits.
It's all the same thing. There's something
Remember that
rabbit.
Jackrabbit, Swamp Rabbits. You get Kalen Booth up
One
from
of
the
them
Swamp
rabbits.
Rabbits.
Words
And here's
are
the thing,
hard.
I like this because Kalen Booth deserves the chance to play more AHL games.
I agree.
I liked what
agree.
I saw from him 2 years ago during the preseason. And I'm surprised he didn't come back up, but that's okay. He's going to get a bigger chance coming up with Ned absolutely going up to the Carolina Hurricanes.
But here's the thing that I want to know. You saw Ned the other day with Jeff because you went out to the Charlotte Checkers game. What did you think of him in person?
He's Mrazek, but that's a little better with a lot younger, and he still has opportunity to develop.
But Ned didn't play that game. It was Forsberg. Forsberg.
Yeah,
actually
it was
looked.
Forsberg in that game.
And
Correct.
you know what?
So, would you think we pull him up rather than Ned?
No, because if Ned is that one goalie that we need to bring up. We need to get him NHL time. We need to protect him in the draft. That's
Look, Ned's going to be protected in the expansion draft one way or the other. You're not doing him any favors keeping him down in Charlotte.
no. So we need to bring him up. We need to get him more game experience, because what if Reimer's not back in time for the playoffs, or what if Mrazek is that injured where we need to have
Ned's
Yeah.
suited up for the playoffs before.
Exactly.
When Mrazek got out, he never
Exactly.
played,
That's
but
right.
he suited
There's
up all the
Mrazek
same.
and
Hey, let's remember, Ned is 1-0 in the NHL.
He is.
And he let up one goal, I believe, against Vancouver. Yeah, I
Yes.
think it was like 3-1.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's a great GAA and a great playoff. And he's got playoff time. I want to call it that, but he never really
Yeah.
got on the ice. But still,
You know what
him
else he
sitting on the
deserves?
bench with that beanie of his, I love it.
I was about to say, the best looking part of Ned being up here with us is that toboggan on his head. And yes, a toboggan
No, it's
is a beanie.
No.
Yes, it is.
We're
A
all
Yes.
rolling.
No.
A toboggan is what you sit on and go down the ice.
Thank you very much.
No, we're
Omar.
not having this argument. This is a hockey podcast,
It's
not a terminology.
No.
Okay,
Well,
but no, that is also
A
wrong.
hat,
The best
a
part
beanie-
about Ned is his
No.
streaming.
Yeah, Ned
He
has
does.
his Twitch,
His
and he
TikTok.
goes on there a lot. Have you guys actually watched him play?
I thought
Yeah.
he was
He's
on
actually
TikTok.
good.
He's
You know,
okay, yeah.
He's the reason I know what Twitch is.
Well, what's a good thing because now you can watch NWHL
This is
on
true.
it.
But the first time I heard about Twitch was because of Ned.
Frigate.
What?
We got our guy over here who didn't know.
Damn,
Jared didn't
really
know.
connected like us.
In WHL,
Damn.
man. That's how you watch it.
You watch it on Twitch.
Just to let a lot of our listeners know that I had to explain the Twitch and the Twitch to a few of our friends here about the goalie Twitch and
Yeah.
then Ned's Twitch, because I
That's
didn't know
right.
which ones we were talking about. So
Right.
someone goes, "Yeah, Ned's got the Twitch," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a goalie too, and I got the Twitch too. It's because our hair gets in our way and we have to like reshift our helmets."
It's
And then he's like,
different. It's a
"No,
different
Twitch."
See,
All right, so would you bring Ned or Forsberg up?
I would bring
Ned.
Ned because, one, I have his goalie stick that's signed.
Okay,
What does that have to
I
do
get
with
that.
But I
personal
also
thing.
like
Ned,
his
because he's
way of
freaking
playing
awesome.
better. Like, he's ready for the NHL. Forsberg,
He's been ready.
been in the NHL with the Blackhawks, but I think it's time for Ned. It is Ned's time.
Absolutely agree.
been
I think
Ned's
Ned's
time.
shown us he can do this before. I think he's going to show us he can do it again.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of column booths, let's go down to Greenville.
Ooh, the Swamp Rabbits.
They are currently 4th in the division, 9th in the conference. They're out of the playoffs by 1 point.
They're not doing so hot and expected. Let's be completely frank. ECHL team, and right now they don't have a single.
I still
player
like to
that's
see a
signed
championship
at the NHL
from all of our
level.
teams.
Wait, hold on. Do they still have Cliff Pooh? Because
No, we traded him.
We traded him to the Panthers, who are still the minor. The Swamp Ropes are still the
Yeah,
minor
we have
league
this weird
affiliate
dual thing going
Yeah,
on.
we're the main affiliate, but then they're also like the secondary affiliate. It's really strange.
You're talking about the Everglades, not the.
No.
No, we're talking about the Swamp Rabbits.
Swamp Rabbits.
No, you said Florida, so I wasn't sure if you.
No. The Everblades are the affiliate to Nashville.
Got you.
Well, all right.
Florida Panthers
We
is
got
what
most
we're
of the
talking about.
we got the Kane stuff down. Now let's go down to our friends in Fayetteville.
So the Fayetteville
Marksman.
Marksman, owned by Chuck Norris, believe it or not.
Yep. And he's a friend of the pod. Shout out
And he
to Chuck
approves.
Norris. They are currently tied in first place with Perona, I believe.
They're doing really well. So if you guys want to see some upcoming playoff hockey, even if the Canes don't make it, there is going to be playoff hockey down in Fayetteville. So make sure you guys go out and see that because there's going to be a lot of playoff hockey down there.
Now-
Their format's a little different.
Yeah,
but
but-
it's best out of 3 for the first round, I
Yes.
believe.
Yeah, it's best out of 3, and then I believe it's 5, then 7, something like that. But Fayetteville had an injury with the Tank Boney had an injury. I believe it's been fixed, so it's all good to go. And yes, I did say that right. Tank Boney. They dress up their Zamboni as a tank.
It's pretty sweet.
Oh my God, it's so sweet.
Okay, what about the Thunderbirds? What do you got?
Oh, the Carolina Thunderbirds? They're doing their thing. They are absolutely tearing it up and getting on YouTube with that brawl. So
Who just signed up to play for the Thunderbirds? Mike Solaris.
yeah.
So Mike Solaris, for those who don't know, he is a analyst for. Someone's gonna have to remind me. He's probably gonna get mad at me.
I
for
believe
forgetting.
it's the Carolina 14. I believe it's that one, the one that's 24 hours.
Yes, on one of the news channels. He's gonna play a couple of games for the
Didn't he
Thunderbirds.
play in like the alumni game for like years?
Oh yeah, I mean he's a decent hockey player. He's getting up there in age, so that's what's great about the Federal Hockey League. It's just no rules really to it.
Yeah, but it's still fun, and they're winning, and they're getting a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun hockey in Carolina.
And Winston-Salem.
Yeah. Also, didn't the Fayetteville Marksmen are wearing their SpongeBob jerseys? I think that's
some
tonight.
weird jerseys. They had SpongeBob ones. In the future, I think the next one is actually Star Wars, so it looks like a Star Wars robe.
They're
like
doing a
the
lot of
Jedi
fun
robes.
stuff, and that's what I like about these random minor league teams, where they can do stuff that the NHL can't, which is wear absolutely ridiculous jerseys for the game. These are not practice jerseys; these are in-game jerseys.
Yeah.
Do the
Yeah.
guys square pants though?
Maybe. All right, we got one more thing. We got one more thing. The ACCHL Championship tournament was just held, and guess what? NC State won back-to-back their second championship, so it's back-to-back in a very thrilling game, 5-4 over the hosting Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
So they're going to regionals.
They are going to ACHA Division II Southeast Regional, which starts on February 18th, and it's single elimination, and it's in New Jersey.
That's tough. I mean, single elimination hockey is a brutal thing. Like you
And
get one bad
That
bad
one
game for a goaltender, and that's
Well, here's
it.
the thing, though. If they get past that, guess where they're going?
Nationals.
Wrong.
Oh, okay.
Well, they are. They're going to Nationals, but it's actually being hosted at the practice facility of the Dallas Stars.
Nice.
So they're going down to
Nice.
Texas.
But they got to get there
Good
first.
job.
They got to get there. All right.
Let's hope. Okay, Cheyenne just saw something. What did we see?
Okay, you know you got a microphone right there. Go ahead.
Come on. What did we see?
I've heard you on lockdown. Come on, don't be afraid of
Come
the mic.
on.
No, it was just Aho retweeted the video where it says legendary, where the team like crowds Dave
Yeah.
at the end of the
Yeah,
game.
they love
and
him.
Think about that.
That's
Like,
awesome.
imagine how embarrassed you have to be as Toronto to lose to an emergency backup goalie, and more embarrassed.
Zamboni driver.
Yeah,
The
no, the
Zamboni.
maintenance dude. Like,
Their own Zamboni driver.
Right.
yeah,
Not just any, their own.
yeah. I mean,
Oh
that
my
man
God.
still has to go to work for the next game.
And he's 42.
Hey, H has
Would
nothing
y'all
to do with
stop
being a
saying
goalie.
42 like it's a horrible
Oh my
thing?
god.
I mean, you got to realize, I think
He's
he's the
older
oldest.
than everyone on the Carolina Hurricanes.
He's older. I'm pretty sure he's older than everyone else on the ice too.
exactly.
I mean, you're talking about probably the oldest goaltender in the league right now.
And one last note on goalies. This
Possibly.
week,
He'd be up there.
Yeah.
this week we
Curtis
did
McElhaney could give him a little trouble, but that's it.
a survey
Uh-oh.
on who would like to see next season as our goalies. And you know what? I think it might come sooner than later,
Mrazek and Ned.
where Ned is going to be the starter until our two goalies get it together
Yeah.
and come back.
I'm
Who's-
excited to see
Yes.
Ned come up and play. I think he can invigorate this team with his youth. He can invigorate this team with his passion.
Are we talking about Morgan Geeky?
I don't know, but you know what?
God, there's so many players down in Charlotte that we know so well because they've been around for so long. And that's one of the great things about Carolina hockey is having your minor league teams within arm's reach lets the fan base really get to know these guys versus like Minnesota having their minor league team all the way in Iowa.
Ew.
Hey, if Ned needs an emergency backup, like I said, I'm all game. Hey.
Yeah. Oh, one more shout out. We got to give a shout out to UNC head coach Jeff Volkman. He is now an assistant coach for the Kansas City Mavericks.
Very nice.
That's right. So and for those who don't know, Mavericks are an ECHL team. I've been to their barn a couple of times. They're always fun hockey to watch. They've got a very passionate fan base in Kansas City. The Super Bowl champions. But for those of us who are a little heartbroken about that, I'm sorry, but that's what happened.
We'll get 7 rings next year.
Oh,
Go
shush. Shush. Until Brady signs, shush.
So I have a shout out.
I'm sorry,
to-
is
What-
that a football team?
Right.
It's
What
the
is that?
XFL season. I don't even know what they're talking about.
All hail
Go
the XFL.
Seattle.
What is that, cricket?
Cricket? What's cricket?
Yeah, what is this sport?
I don't
Okay, here's a
understand.
legitimate question.
Do they play on ice?
You remember how a little bit earlier on in the season when who was it that went down? It was one of the forwards that went down. Name's escaping me right now, but it was a little bit of a revolving door there for a minute. Oh, when Marty was out, when he had to have surgery. It was kind of a revolving door between Gibbons and like a few other guys. Do you see that maybe being the case with Pesci now? Being a little bit revolving door with like Prisky, Bean, McCown, those guys?
Like they did last year, like they keep
Yeah.
bringing people up.
Yeah,
but
little bit of a revolving door.
Yeah, the problem with that is, I can understand doing that just to keep their game count low, as well. But when you get to the playoffs, that's when it's going to get complicated.
Yeah.
Maybe at this point, you get Dougie Hamilton back, and you get Mrazek back, or at least you get Reimer at full health, and you're good to go. Reimer's going to be the one to serve Mrazek and Ned. It's going to be a fiery duo, but you know what? Maybe that's what this team needs.
I think it's exactly.
Do you know what
they
this team needs? As in us, we need our mascot. Reese's.
So-
My dog Reese's is in here with us.
I thought Rayla was the mascot.
She's the human mascot.
Oh, okay.
You're allowed to have multiple mascots, like Stormy and Caroline.
Sorry, Carolyn. So Reese's and Rayla. All right. Good.
Oh my gosh.
I want to give a shout out to all of our listeners out there.
Yeah, this craziness.
I want the listeners to let us know, who do you want as the net combination if Mrazek's out and Reimer is out?
Your only
Should we-
option is Ned and Jeff.
Ned and Jeff.
Other than myself, because I'd be willing to be a human
It's
sacrifice.
gonna be Ned
and
and
Forsberg.
Forsberg, and it's not
let's
ideal,
do
but
it.
you can make it work.
So what does Charlotte do?
They bring
Charlotte
up Booth,
Booth
and
they-
sign
they-
somebody.
No, they have that other dude.
From the ECHL, though.
I mean,
I'm
There's
blanking.
players. You can ECHL pulls players from the SPHL. They'll
Yeah, I
pull
was
up a
about to
couple
say
of
they'll have
goalies,
to start
and then
pulling
we just
people.
take the AHL just takes the players from ECHL. That's how this works, and just they churn it out. The FHL will lose goalies to the SPHL, and the system goes on. That's why hockey is great. You got this entire intricate system that can work. Same way with baseball, right? You got so many leagues.
Yeah, you got your farm leagues.
You got your farm leagues to pull them up. So, but the difference is the affiliation only goes 2 deep in hockey compared to like 8 deep in baseball or
Yeah,
9
but
or
you're
10.
talking about the farm team state of North Carolina here.
Yeah,
Like, we
'cause,
have
I mean,
so
we got
many minor
Bulls,
league teams.
Right,
Knights,
you're gonna
the Wood Ducks,
you
Mudcats.
don't be surprised if you see guys from Fayetteville going up to
Greenville.
and guys from Greenville going up to Charlotte, and even guys from
Winston-Salem.
Winston-Salem
Yep.
moving up to Fayetteville. It's happened where they just get in the car and they can drive down to Fayetteville. Now they play for Fayetteville, and et cetera. And there's such a great system in Carolina. Carolina hockey is deeper than what people think it is.
I even had
Alright.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
Zach.
you got this.
All right, so after all this shenanigans that happened tonight, I got a good buddy that plays pro hockey and is a goalie over in the Elite League over in the UK, and he shoots me a message. Maybe I should move over there and be an emergency goalie for the guys. And two, why didn't they sign you?
So
'Cause
I don't
they
know
were
why they
cowards.
signed you, because you didn't put yourself out there, I guess.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
Well,
I'd rather be a podcaster.
this has been a crazy episode.
I think this has been an incredible episode, probably one of
It's
our
great.
best episodes.
Absolutely.
Thank you to Instill Distilling and Eric Tanzi for hosting us. Woo, woo.
We'll be back.
Thanks to the great fans, all hundreds of you sitting there.
They're tired and a little drunk, so
Yeah.
we'll give them a break.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
been a
after
great
drinking
night.
those Rampages, you're
and
ready to
It's
go.
been a heart
honestly,
attack of a
it's-
night.
Yeah. History was made, folks. I don't know if you understand just how important tonight was. Where were you on February 22nd, 2020, when the greatest game between the Carolina Hurricanes and Toronto Maple Leafs happened? I was here making this awesome podcast. We had a great guest. I want to thank Alyssa again for being here. I want to thank everyone out in the outfield. Jared here from Locked On Hurricanes.
We'll actually do an official episode with you one
We'll
day.
do an
Yeah.
official episode with you one
That's
day.
fine.
but for now,
So 40 years ago, history was made. Again, 40 years later, Carolina Hurricanes made history.
Woo!
You
All
will
right.
always remember these moments, no matter where you are in life.
I think this is a great way to end it. So, anybody got
Sounds
last
good.
words?
I think Omar's.
they're not dying.
Okay, last things to say on this
Right?
episode.
Come out to my live episode next Saturday on February 29th at Well Traveled Beer in downtown Goldsboro.
There better be alcohol.
He
Toss
is
a-
A
shameless
lot of
with
beer,
his plugs. I'm
wine,
telling
and
you.
sake.
All right,
Oh,
so
I'm in.
this will not be our one and only live episode. We're gonna have more live episodes. Hopefully, I think I talked with the Hurricanes that we might get Eric Cole or Shane Willis for our next episode. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be huge. There's gonna be even more people here for that one. So make sure you come in early and get your seats.
Toss a puck to your goalie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're
Toss a
gonna
coin
put
to your
something
Witcher.
out there in just 1 second.
What?
We're gonna put a post out there. Buy a bottle of Instill.
Yeah.
Tag us.
Instill
tag
Nation.
Instill, and we'll put you in for a prize. Not sure what the prize is just yet.
We're working on the prize, but I think there might be
Free lap
a
dance.
2006
Free lap dance. from Jeff.
championship jersey up for
Maybe.
grabs, maybe. And
Hey, there you go. There you go. All right. So buy a bottle. Tag us. Tag Instill.
Hashtag Instill Nation and hashtag Revolution Rampage.
That's right.
All right, it's been a great
At
episode.
LO_Hurricanes.
Cheap plug.
See ya.
Bye.